Well, welcome everybody to Reach, Roll, and Release. This morning we're going to be doing upper body stretches. As you know, we've been doing lower body and upper body, switching off every week and switching out between massage, stretching, band-assisted stretching. And today we're going to be doing some band-assisted stretching for that upper body. And we're going to start with just some nice warm-ups to get our upper body all warmed up. I'm going to be doing everything just seated today. So if you find a nice comfy chair or whatever, we'll be doing everything just from our chair today. But we're just going to start by doing some arm circles. So we're just do some small arm circles out to our sides, nice and slow. We're not trying to get our heart rate super high or anything. Like I said, this is just recovery. So we are just waking up those muscles this morning, getting them all nice and warm and stretched out. Nice small circles. Think of it as you're circling around your shoulder joint. So think like you're drawing a circle around your shoulder. That's how your little circle should be. Just nice circles around that shoulder. And let's reverse and go backwards now. Do some nice little circles backwards. All right, and now we're going to switch and we're going to do some big circles forward. Giving myself some more space here. Nice, nothing super fast, just nice and controlled, big circles forward. So like I said, we're going to be doing upper body. We're going to do our back, our chest, our shoulders, our arms, rotator cuff, our core. If you guys have anything in particular, let me know. Let's do backwards now. If there's anything on that upper body that's really tight on you or a question you have, feel free to tell me. All right. Now we're just going to do some good old shoulder shrugs. So we'll just squeeze those shoulders up to the ears and then push them down away from the ears. So squeeze it up, push them down. You should feel a light stretch as you're doing this. Like I said, we're just getting things warmed up, so we don't want to super be forcing our muscles to do anything quite yet. I definitely had a lazy weekend, and I admit that I spent a lot of time in front of screens, kind of slouched, so this upper body, shoulder, and everything feels nice for me as well. All right, we're just going to do some overhead reaches. So we're just going to reach above our head, hold it for a few moments, and let those arms drop in front. And then we're just going to reach to the sky for a few seconds, and let those arms slowly fall into the front. So we'll do a few of these. Get that core. All right, let's do one more big stretch. All right, and back down. Now we're going to do just some waitress extensions. You're going to have your arms, elbows at your side, palms up, and you're just going to put those arms out in front of you, and you'll pull them back in. So we're just putting those arms out in front of us and back in. It's going to get our biceps. This is going to get our back. This is going to get our forearms. And as you're doing this, really think about engaging your muscles. So flex those biceps when you pull back, squeeze those shoulder blades a little bit, just to really get everything nice and awake. I'm not sure how your morning has been. Mine hasn't been too active, so you need to get a little bit of blood flowing. All right, and we'll end here with just some trunk rotation. So arms at your side, and we're just gonna rotate left and right, arms at 90 degrees. Keeping that body in alignment, the neck lined up with that belly button, and we're really trying to rotate your core and really get that core nice and tight. Feel this probably even in your back. When your arms are up like this, it gets your chest and back involved too. All righty. Do a few more of these. And then we'll get up and get our neck warmed up a little bit. All right. So we're just going to do some few neck rotations. We'll start with going counterclockwise, and then we'll go into clockwise. So you're just going to be circling that neck nice and slow. We'll just do 5 or so. And remember, whenever we're doing these exercises, we don't want any pain. So this is supposed to be all about recovery. So you should be relaxed, sitting upright, taking deep breaths. And if it ever starts to hurt, we want to stop what we're doing with that and adjust. Let's do one more big circle around, and then we're going to go back in the opposite direction. All right, now we can rotate clockwise. We're going to spend a little bit of time here on our neck before we move into stretching out everything else. I feel like our neck often gets rejected. All right, let's do one more circle clockwise. All right, let's put that head back to center. So now we're just gonna lean over and get that left ear to that left shoulder and just feel a nice little stretch. We're gonna hold this for a few seconds, and then we're gonna switch over to the right ear to the right shoulder. And let's just switch and lean over that other way. Feel that stretch on that other side here for a few seconds. Take some nice deep breaths. All right, and let's go back over to that left side. And then one more on that right. All right. Everybody should feel a little warmed up there in that upper body with those shoulders and everything, and that chest and that core. So if you want to get your band, if you don't have a band, like I said, you can always do these stretches with a scarf, with a t-shirt without a band. I can show you some ways to do that. But if you have something long, if you have a rope, a jump rope, like I said, a scarf, t-shirt, we want to try to get that. Does everybody have something that they can use today to stretch out? Any sort of band or sock or anything? Thumbs up. It looks like everybody has something here today. Brett, do you have anything that you can use? Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to start by stretching out our shoulders. We're going to do some shoulder things. We'll get into those rotator cuffs a little bit as well. I know, especially for those of you that, you know, are doing hand cycling or wheelchair, whatever, that muscle is used so much. So we'll try to stretch that out a little bit. But first, we're going to just start with a nice, good wide arm stretch. So resistance band is in front, and you're just going to stretch that band across your chest, arms back straight. We're just going to hold that here. You should feel this in the biceps and the shoulders. There should definitely be some resistance. Nice stretch across that shoulder. And most of these we're going to be holding for about 30 seconds or so. We'll release for a few seconds, and we'll go back and hold it again. We want to make sure we're sitting up straight. And if you can, try to pull back a little bit more, really opening up that chest. All right, and let's go back to the middle here. Give that body a moment to release. All righty, and let's do that one more time, really pulling back. Feel that in the chest, the front of the shoulder. I really feel this in my biceps for some reason. Really just opening up everything up here. Just a few more seconds. All righty, you can bring that back to the middle there. And we're going to do something similar, but instead of this time, we're going to put our arms above our head, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to spread it wide and pull those arms back. So instead of across the chest, you're going to put those arms above your head, spread it wide, and let those arms fall back behind our back here. Again, should feel that all in that shoulder. Really try to keep those arms straight. So start wide, let them just straight kind of fall back behind. And yeah, go as far back as you can. Really feel it in that shoulder. Whenever you're doing stretches too, you really want to be thinking about what you're stretching out. So you really want to try to not just let your joints fall, but really think about stretching out those muscles. All right, let's rotate back over that head in front here. Give your arms a moment to, and then we're going to do one more of those. But yeah, you should definitely feel the stretch. You don't want to just let your arms just be falling back and relying on those joints to hold you. You really want to be feeling that stretch. So let's go back up again above our head, back behind. I apologize if you hear some groaning and moaning. My dog seems to be dreaming right now underneath at my feet. So just heard her make some noises. She just got a nice bath yesterday, so she's very clean and sparkly and smells beautifully. It's a few times I don't mind her hanging around when she's not stinky. All right, let's hold this here a few more seconds and let's pull those arms back over slowly. Really feel that there. All right. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit with our triceps. Just like, you know, how we do our tricep extensions with the arm behind us, we're going to do that again. We'll get our left hand, fold the resistance band in half, go behind with the opposite hand. You're going to grab and pull that band down, really feeling that stretch in that tricep. So you can start with whatever arm is comfortable, but really with this, we want to make sure that tricep is up. We want to try to avoid pulling out from the side or down low. We really want to try to get that tricep up. So even if maybe it's even in front of you like this, that's as far as you can go. We really want to try to keep that tricep straight and avoid having it way out to the side. Right now I have my head almost leaning against it as I'm pulling down, stretching out that tricep. So if you need to use your other hand maybe for some assistance, but you guys are all looking great here. Try to pull back a little bit more, and we can release that one for a moment here. Let's actually go over and just do our other one. We can just switch for a moment, pull it back, then we'll go back to the other one that we did before. We can go. Nice thing about the arms is we can go back and forth. Give those muscles a moment to nice stretch in that tricep. All right. A few more seconds, and we can release. We can go back over to the other one. I started with my left, so I'll go back to my left here now. It's always fun to figure out how to get that band wrapped back around and grab it. All right, there we go. I think I got mine. You guys are all looking great. All right, a few more seconds here. And we can release. Go back to that right one. Make sure you guys are sitting up straight. That core is tight. Definitely want to make sure that as we're doing this, you know, our other muscles are engaged to keep us stable. All right, you can pull down here and get that other tricep nice and stretched out. I always like when I'm doing stretches to do a few deep breaths. It's a really great practice to breathe in through your nose for a few seconds, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale through your mouth. And to think about how there's almost like a balloon in your stomach that you're filling up. When you're breathing in through your nose, your stomach should really feel full, your diaphragm, and then out through that mouth. It's really great breathing exercises. You guys can release that tricep as you are. I'm not sure how many of you have seen those breathing balls. I know in the paddle sports and the dragon boat workouts, they're like these kind of plastic balls, and you can like expand it and make it bigger to symbolize like, you know, breathing in and breathing out. And they're like these really awesome for breathing techniques. I wish I have one. It'd be awesome to use at the end. But yeah, that deep breathing is super important. All right, so we're gonna now do some bicep stretches. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get that band, we're gonna wrap it around us high up, kind of like under the armpits. And let's start with our right arm today. So we're gonna put that right arm in front of us, palm up, holding that resistance band with some gentle resistance, nothing too tight. And we're gonna slowly rotate it to our side, and you're gonna feel it go back behind us, palm up. And once it starts to get back behind you at a, whatever angle this is, you should begin to feel the stretch from like your elbow through your bicep up until your shoulder. So you want to make sure to keep that palm up. You're going to be rotating back with that resistance band at the side here. I kind of let mine fall under. And when it gets back around about right here, I begin to feel that stretch. You guys feel that stretch there in that bicep as you're rotating back? Awesome. All right, so we're gonna hold this here. If you need to tighten up your band a little bit to get a little bit more resistance or whatever, this is kind of mimicking like a wall stretch. One way to stretch out biceps and shoulders is to go up against a wall and put your palm on the wall and kind of lean away. And using this band like this is kind of mimicking that wall stretch to really get that bicep, upper and lower bicep stretched out. All right, and we can rotate that arm back in front, let that relax. Let's go and let's do our opposite hand now. Get that band here, rotate it back behind me. Make sure you're sitting up straight. I know it's going to be tempting on this one to arch or kind of lean back awkwardly. You want to make sure that you're still sitting up straight. Those shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, and that arm is just pulling back behind you. That muscle is engaged. And this resistance band should be kind of pulling it in, really getting that bicep nice and stretched out. And as you feel that muscle release, feel free to go back a little farther, do a little deeper stretch, especially sometimes when we do it for the second time, you can get a little deeper stretch in. All righty, we can go back here, release, go back over. Shake out those arms a little bit, finding mine to be a little tight. All right, and let's go now and do that other arm again. Make sure those palms are facing up. Really feel it in that bicep when those palms are up. After we finish this one here, we can take a short break, get some water, shake it out a little bit. All right. And let's go back over to that other arm, and then when we're done with our biceps here, we can take that break. Nice fluid motions. Ever we're doing stretching, we want to make sure that there's a nice flow. We're not being super jagged or really hurting those muscles or force them to do something they're not ready in. You guys are looking great. Hopefully you guys aren't holding your breath, taking nice deep breaths. All right, and we can release this here. Take a sip of water. right. We're going to now transition into stretching out our forearms, the forearms, and also the top of our forearms as well. You guys can finish up getting that drink of water. I'll just demonstrate for you real fast. So I'm just going to get the resistance band. It's going to be on my palm hanging. And then my other hand is going to wrap around, grab, and pull that palm back. So my arm is straight, pulling that palm back. And I can get it by your fingers, palm, whatever. And you should feel it all in that forearm there. So we're going to be doing that on the left side and the right side. So we'll start here. I'll start with the left. You guys can start which other hand works for you. But I just have that resistance band is literally just dangling over my palm and my fingers. And then I just grab with my other hand and I pull it down and back. So just arm straight out front. Yep, everybody's looking great. Bev has it. Donna has it. You guys are looking awesome. All right, let's hold this here for a little bit and pull that down. The mailman is coming, so if you hear a bark in a moment, I apologize. My dog likes the mailman. She is asleep though, so maybe I'll get lucky and she won't hear him. All right. Well, there was no bark, but there was an excited tail wag. All right, we can release that. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to, now we're going to turn our palms up like this with that band, and we're going to pull our palms up now, but on top. So instead of having them down underneath like that, you're still going to have that resistance band. You're just switching it now to your palm facing away, kind of like you're telling someone to stop in front of you, and you're going to pull back. And then you should feel this on the top of that forearm. Yep. Everybody, Brent, you're looking great. Wagner family, looking excellent. Should feel this on the top. And your arm should be relatively relaxed. I'm pretty much holding my arm up with this resistance band. All right, and then now let's go back to that underneath side again. Do a few more seconds here, and then we'll go back up on top, and then we'll switch to our other arm. All right, and now let's switch back up on the top. All righty, and you can release with that one. I like to do some little wrist rotation after I'm done with this for a little bit, really let find my hand gets a little upset at me. All right, and we can switch over to the other hand now. So palm up with that resistance band, just dangling over, and you're gonna grab and pull back and down one more time now on that opposite hand. And a lot of these stretches you can do with or without a resistance band. The resistance band makes it nice because you can really relax other parts of your body and let the band do the work instead of your hand pulling back. But these resistance bands are awesome for assistance in this. All right, we can switch now. Pull that hand up and back. Get that other top of the arm. All righty, let's reverse back down and under. And one more time up on the top. Alrighty, and we can release this here, roll out that wrist a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna go and get our rotator cuffs here. I was a swimmer, so I understand having tight rotator cuffs. So for this one, we're going to get those elbows glued to our side. Our arm is going to be at like a 90-degree angle. I'm going to hold one part of the resistance band in my left, the other in my right. And I'm going to use my left as kind of an anchor. And with my right, I'm just going to be pulling away from my body. So I should start to feel as I'm rotating out. When I get to about here, I start to feel that tightness in my shoulder. And then you just want to hold it there. We're actually going to only hold this for about 10 seconds. Then we're going to release. Then we're going to see if we can go even farther the second time. So each time we want to try to push that arm out even a little farther. So let's go here. I'm just using this other hand as like a little bit of resistance. It's just gently pulling away as my right arm is pulling, and I'm just holding in place there. Really feeling it in that rotator cuff. All right, let's release here for a little moment. Give it a little bit of a break. And now this time, let's see if we can go a little bit farther back. All right, a few more seconds. All right, and let's release that again. And then this time again, let's really try. This time we're going to hold it for a little more than 10. All right, and let's pull back here. Really try. Get that arm pulled out. That elbow is glued to my side here. All righty. And let's switch over now to that left hand or opposite arm. So the first time, we don't want to try to go way far back. We just want to go a little bit, 10 seconds, and then go a little farther. Then that third time, we're really going to try to get back to get that rotator cuff. So again, I'm just holding that band. My other hand is anchoring it, and I am just pulling back, sitting up straight, rotating until I start to feel that stretch in my rotator cuff, and just holding it there. You guys feeling it in your rotator cuffs? Oh, yeah. All right, and then we can release it for a few seconds. Now this time, let's try to go a little farther back. Try to sit up straight. Try to resist the urge to rotate your body with it. We really would just be anchoring at that elbow. So you should still be facing forward, shoulders straight, relaxed away from those ears as you're doing it. All right, let's release one more time here. And now this time, we want to really try to get that arm pulled back. All right, get that rotator cuff nice and stretched out. For those that are just hopping on, we're just using a light resistance band to rotate out those rotator cuffs. We're working, stretching that upper body. All righty, we can release. Let's do a few, I'm gonna do a few little shoulder shrugs here, some shoulder circles. Take a little break here, really feeling that burn in that upper body and those shoulders. Just doing some rotations here. Sometimes I like to do that to get the blood flowing after I really stretch out those muscles. All right. So now we're gonna do our back a little bit. So for this one, we're gonna do like a cat stretch, you know, when we really arch our back. But instead of putting our hands, you know, on our knees or between our knees, we're actually gonna use the resistance band. So we're gonna get the resistance band, we're gonna put it underneath the arches of our feet. So underneath both feet in the arches, resistance band in our hand. Let me pull this a little bit closer so I can show you guys here on the ground. So I have the resistance bands in my hand. They're under my feet as such. So this is what it looks like on the bottom, band under my feet, band in my hands. And I am going to put my feet out a little bit in front of me so they're not directly underneath. And I'm going to use that resistance band to pull, and I'm going to arch my back. So I'm kind of almost doing like a bicep curl with this. I'm pulling with my resistance band. So I have some, if you notice, some loose. So if you need to go down on those resistance bands, I'm pulling up, and then I'm using this to pull my body forward, and I'm arching that back. Really opening up those shoulder blades. I look like the hunchback of Notre Dame with my back here. So I'm really arching that back, using the resistance bands to pull forward, spread open those shoulder blades. Is everybody getting that there, feeling that in that upper back stretch and everything? You're just using that resistance band to pull forward and stretch out that upper back. So you're leaning forward, really spreading that open. Hold this here for a few more seconds. Feels so good. All right, and let's release here for a moment. Sit up nice and straight. So that's just going to be just a band-assisted cat stretch. So instead of using those arms to push against their knees, you're using the band to really pull and open up that back. All righty, so let's do that one more time here. Leaning forward, pulling that band, arching that back. My chin is to my chest, kind of looking down, really spread and open those shoulder blades, really pulling them apart, arching that back, feeling it all in between the shoulder blades, that upper back spine, even a little bit up into my neck. All righty. You can release. Just getting that upper back there all nice, stretched out. Those cat-cow stretches are amazing. All right. So now we're just gonna end here with some chest and core. So we kind of did this in the warm up a little bit. We're gonna do it here one more time to really open up that chest. So we're gonna get that band, and instead of putting those arms way far behind and opening, you're just gonna be really pulling them out, and it's gonna be straight. My arms are straight, so I definitely have a little tighter resistance, and they're just straight out to my side. So I am standing. This is how I am from an angle. So my arms aren't back. I'm not arching my back, pulling way back. They're just straight out to my side. You should start to feel, like I said, it should feel in the bicep, and I can really feel my chest engaged in this one here. So you're just pulling that band, arms out straight, holding that there. All right, we can release this here for a moment. Then we'll do that one more time before we go into stretching out that core a little bit. All right, so let's pull that band across, arms just straight, sitting up nice and straight. Try to keep, don't let those shoulders go up like this as you're pulling one. Keep them down. Really feel it low across that chest, arms across our bodies. All right, awesome. You can release this here. So we're gonna do 2 stretches here for the first one for that core. Just like when we started, we did those arm reaches where we reached up in the sky. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get that band, and we're gonna have a slight, I have it doubled up here, slight pulling it, and we're gonna arms high, little spread of the arms, not super wide, and you're gonna again reach and pull that band very gently apart. So my arms are up in the sky above my head, not super wide. I have a narrow grip with a slight pull in that band. So they're narrow. I am expanding, stretching out that core and pulling just gently apart, again, reaching up to the sky. So I feel this in my core. I feel this in my lat muscles. So again, reaching up to the sky, and your arms should be about shoulder width apart with a slight pull in that resistance band. Looking up, reach, 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 reach. Just a few more seconds here. Make sure not to hold your breath. All right, I'm gonna put those arms down for a moment. And we'll do that one more time. So try to resist. We're not reaching wide like this. We wanna make sure that we're reaching narrow. So pretty much shoulder width apart as I'm reaching up. So I have a slight pull, and I'm reaching up to the sky. All right, let's do this again here. Try to keep those arms narrow, about shoulder width apart. Looking up and those fingers moving, reaching for that sky. Really should really expand that chest or that core. Really expand that spine, reaching up. Try to keep that a gentle pull on that resistance band. That'll get your lat muscles involved as well. Make sure you're breathing. Don't want to hold our breath. A few more seconds and release. Awesome job. We'll do one more here. So arms are going to be out in front again. So instead of being above our head like we did, they're going to be together in front. And we're just going to rotate to the left, hold it, really stretch out. Again, those obliques, that upper shoulder. Going to hold it for a few seconds. Excuse me. And then we'll rotate to the other side here. So now let's rotate to the other side. And let's hold it here. Again, really feeling this on that oblique on our side. All right, let's go back the other direction. Rotate back to the other side. Okay. So now with a wide band, we're going to end with this one here. We're going to go wide arms and we're going to lean to the left. So my arms are nice and wide, nice and loose, wide bands, sitting up nice and straight and lean, and you should feel that all along our sides here. So nice and wide, sitting up straight, feet planted on the ground, and we're just leaning. All right, we can go back to the middle and up to that opposite side. Just feel that nice lean, that nice stretch. And if you can, as your muscles loosen up, go a little farther. Feel that stretch in that oblique. All right, go back to center, back to the opposite side. We'll do one more on each side and we will be done. Stretching out that upper body. And last time on the opposite side. All right, good job, everyone. That is what I have for you.